The School Beauty's water delivery service is priced at 0.1 yuan. Looking at the phone, Yichin muttered in surprise. Today is the first day of military training for freshmen. Since the instructor has not arrived yet, everyone is hiding in the shade, playing with their mobile phones and waiting. Just now, Yichin accidentally downloaded a game called, "With a monthly salary of 3,000, I will be the richest man in the world." The slogan of this game is, even if you only have a salary of 3,000 a month, as long as you play this game, you can become the richest man in the world. With strong curiosity, Yichin looked around in the game. What attracted him the most was the shopping mall in the game. Because I just started playing and my level is low, there are only 3 items in the mall now. Water delivery service by the School Beauty, priced at 0.1 yuan. Ferrari SF90, priced at 0.2 yuan. A luxury single-family villa, priced at 0.3 yuan. Looking at the 3 products in the mall, Yichun was a little confused and didn't quite believe it. This is real. I won't mention the first one, the school bell water delivery service. As for whether it is serious or not, Yichun doesn't know. But to be honest, he was a little moved. The second Ferrari SF90 normally sells for about 5 million, and the actual price is probably more than 6 million. You can buy it at a game store for 0.2 yuan. There is also a third, single-family villa. Although Jiangzhou is just an ordinary second and third-tier city, the price of such a top-notch luxury house is at least 40,000 to 50,000 yuan per square meter, or even higher. A villa in Jiangzhou costs at least 20 to 30 million. The game company only charges 0.3 yuan, which is outrageous. Today's game developers really dare to brag about anything in order to get people to top up their money. Yichin subconsciously wanted to close and uninstall the game, when a pop-up window popped up. Are you sure you want to leave? There is only one chance to become the richest man. If you miss it, it will be gone. Seeing the prompt on the pop-up window, Yichun was stunned. Or, give it a try? Anyway, it only costs a few cents, so there is no loss. Ferraris and single-family villas seem to be good. Yichun thought about it, and then without hesitation, he paid a dime and chose the School Beauty's water delivery service. Ahem, this is not what Yichun thinks about the School Beauty. I just think this is the cheapest. Yes, it is like that. Just after Yichun paid, the instructor came. When the military training began, fatigue hit him, and Yichun forgot about it. Time flew by quickly, and 2 hours later, under the scorching sun, everyone was already sweating profusely and their mouths were dry. Feeling that it was almost done, the instructor ordered everyone to take a break. Yichun and some classmates immediately ran to the shade. I'm so thirsty, brother. Did you bring water? No, you said that. I'm a little thirsty too. Hiding in a cool place, everyone was chatting, and they were all a little thirsty. But because it was the first day of military training, everyone was not fully prepared, and most of them did not bring water. Yichun, where are you? Someone asked Yichun. Yichun also shook his head. He didn't bring it either. After hearing the discussion of several people, a tall boy walked over next to him. Brothers didn't bring any water? The tall boy walked over and asked in surprise. His name is Zhou Haoran, and he is Yichun's classmate, but he is not in the same dormitory. Old Zhou, did you bring it? Someone asked excitedly after hearing Zhou Haoran's question. Zhou Haoran shook his head. I didn't tell you anything. Hearing Zhou Haoran's answer, the person who just asked the question retorted in frustration. I didn't bring it, but I can ask my girlfriend to bring it to me. Standing in front of a few people, Zhou Haoran said very ostentatiously. Huh. As soon as Zhou Haoran finished speaking, everyone's eyes were instantly focused on Zhou Haoran. Girlfriend? Although whether it is a movie or on the internet, it is very common to have a girlfriend in high school. But in reality, there are very few people who have girlfriends in high school. Most of them are single. It's something worth showing off. All the boys looked at Zhou Haoran with envy. No way, no way. There are still people who are single without a girlfriend, right? Looking at the crowd, Zhou Haoran said extremely sarcastically. After hearing this, many people's expressions changed. Although they were a little angry, they were helpless. After the pretense was successful, Zhou Haoran glanced at the time very proudly. My girlfriend will be here soon. It's coming soon. He told his girlfriend before. Because his girlfriend is from a nearby school, their military training will be a week late. So in order to show off his beautiful girlfriend, Zhou Haoran specifically asked his girlfriend to give him Sen water. Now it seems that his choice is very good. After a while, a girl with average appearance appeared at the entrance of the playground, and Zhou Haoran immediately looked at the girl proudly. The girl waved and walked here immediately.
Come.
Needless to say, this girl is naturally Zhou Haoran's girlfriend. Seeing this scene, all the boys present became envious. Even those who have girlfriends are extremely jealous of Zhou Haoran. Although they have girlfriends, they are out of town, and there is no way to deliver water to them. The girl came over and handed the mineral water in her hand to Zhou Haoran very thoughtfully. Zhou Haoran brought his girlfriend to the front of many classmates and said in a very ostentatious manner, "Let me introduce to you. This is my girlfriend, Yuan Yuan." Now everyone was even more envious and jealous of Zhou Haoran. What a wonderful experience it is to have a girlfriend bring you water during military training. Unfortunately, I don't have it. The most powerful ones are always others. Why? Everyone was filled with emotion. Hey, Yi-chun, don't you have a girlfriend to bring you water? Suddenly, Zhou Haoran spoke and asked Yi-chun. After hearing Zhou Haoran's words, everyone's eyes suddenly focused on Yi-chun. Zhou Haoran didn't ask this randomly. He had observed before that among all the boys in the class, Yi-chun was the most handsome. This made Zhou Haoran, who had always been proud of his appearance, feel deeply threatened. In order to successfully become squad leader in the future, Zhou Haoran always wanted to find opportunities to overpower Yi-chun and improve himself. Now is the perfect opportunity. Seeing that Yi-chun didn't speak, Zhou Haoran was sure that Yi-chun definitely didn't have a girlfriend. This time, Zhou Haoran became even more arrogant, and Zhou Haoran was ready to continue playing harp. But before he could speak, Zhou Haoran was surprised to find that everyone suddenly looked towards the entrance of the playground, dumbfounded. Zhou Haoran also turned his head curiously and was also stunned. At the entrance of the playground, a beautiful girl slowly walked in. With clear eyes and a crystal-white face, her appearance is flawless. His temperament is cold, as if he has stepped out of a painting. The appearance of this beautiful girl instantly attracted everyone's attention. Not to mention the boys present. Even the girls sighed in their hearts. This young lady is so beautiful. Who knows this beautiful woman is extremely surprised. The arrival of this beautiful girl was something they never expected. The visitor was none other than Su Ningxuang, the most famous and aloof school beauty in the school, who had countless suitors. Su Ningxuang is well known in the school for her cold personality. She doesn't usually participate in activities, so it's hard to see her in the school. But today, why did Su School Beauty appear at the military training scene? Everyone who knew Su Ningxuang was confused. Under everyone's gaze, Su Ningxuang stood at the entrance of the playground for a while, looking around. Finally, the location was determined. After that, Su Ningxuang took Nongfu Spring and went straight to Yi-chen's class. What is Su School Beauty doing? Holding water? Are you here to deliver water to people? Looking at Su Ningxuang, everyone was extremely confused. Mom, I'm in love. I'll go. What a beautiful young lady. Looking at Su Ningxuang, the boys in Yi-chen's class were talking excitedly. Little sister, huh? Do you know who she is? A girl seemed to know Su Ningxuang and retorted. Who? She is the famous aloof school beauty in our school, our sophomore sister Su Ningxuang. The girl looked at the boy who just said she was in love with great contempt and continued. I advise you not to dream. There are countless people pursuing her, including the president of the student union, outstanding seniors who have started their own businesses in the university, and countless rich second generations. But none of them succeeded. You just follow her example. Mirror, let's see if you are worthy. Hearing this, everyone present took a breath and was frightened. Is it so scary? Can not even the president of the student union and the boss of his own business pursue this aloof school beauty? At this time, people in Yi-chen's class were surprised to find that the direction Miss Su was walking seemed to be towards them. Everyone was very excited. It was definitely an exciting thing to see the legendary aloof school beauty up close. Seeing Su Ningxuang getting closer and closer, the heartbeats of everyone present could not help but accelerate. Because of Su Ningxuang's appearance, Zhou Haoran and his girlfriend, who were originally the center of attention, were instantly ignored. If it were before, Zhou Haoren would definitely be furious if he tried so hard to show off but was ignored. But now, Zhou Haoren really couldn't get angry. Su School Beauty beautiful. Zhou Haoren was stunned for a moment. Compared with the school beauty Su, his girlfriend is extremely weak. No matter in appearance, body, or temperament, she is too ordinary, too ordinary. School belle Su walked in front of everyone. In an instant, everyone's hearts were raised and their ears pricked up, waiting for the campus beauty Su to speak. "Excuse me, is Junior Yichen here?" Standing in front of everyone, the school beauty Su asked shyly with a red face. Su Ningxuang's words suddenly fell on everyone's ears like thunder from the sky. What? Did Su School Beauty come to find Yichen? How come? In an instant, everyone present turned their heads and looked at Yichen. They were extremely surprised. Those who knew Su Ningxuang looked at everyone's gaze and were equally shocked. Needless to say, this boy is definitely Yichen. Su School Beauty actually came to see a boy. And he's still a freshman who has just entered school a few days ago? Oh my God, how is that possible? Everyone's faces were filled with shock and confusion.
Bang!
On the other side, in Zhou Haoren's hand, the mineral water he had just taken from his girlfriend fell directly to the ground. Zhou Haoren was completely stunned. What's happening here? School belle Su came to find Yichen. Zhou Haoren's eyes widened and his mouth opened wide, looking in disbelief. Not to mention these people. Even Yichen was extremely confused and surprised. To be honest, he really didn't know this Su Ningxuang, the school beauty. Why did she come to see him? When Yichen was stunned, the school beauty Su took the initiative and walked towards Yichen with Nongfu Spring. Military training is very tiring. You must be thirsty. Here. When she came to Yichen, Su Xiaohua took the initiative to extend her jade hand and handed Nongfu Spring to Yichen. Seeing this scene, everyone present was shocked. What's happening here? On the first day of military training, the dignified and aloof school belle took the initiative to give water to a freshman? If word spreads, I'm afraid not many people will believe it. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they would never believe it was true. This is the famous aloof school beauty Su Ningxuang. How could you be so proactive? Everyone was stunned. They thought it was incredible. Even several young instructors couldn't help but sigh. They have also taught new students in military training for several years and have seen girls come to deliver water to boys. But this is the first time that such a beautiful and elegant girl takes the initiative to give water to the boys in military training. This boy is awesome. Looking at the aloof school beauty, she took the initiative to bring water to Yichen in such hot weather. At this moment, all the boys in the entire playground were extremely envious of Yichen. Too strong. I haven't even been in a relationship yet a cool school beauty has already taken the initiative to bring him water. Is this the gap? Sure enough, people are different. All the boys burst into tears and felt extremely heartbroken. Thank you. Yichen took Nongfu Spring from Su Ningxuang. Although Yichen is relatively calm on the surface, his heart has long exploded. But what shocked Yichen most and made him most excited was not that he was offered water by the cold school belle. It's the game, with a monthly salary of 3,000. I am the richest man in the world that I just downloaded. Before the military training, I spent 10 cents to purchase the water delivery service of the school belle. Because I was too tired from the military training just now, I forgot about it for a while. Now I finally remembered. This game, it comes true. It can really change real lives. All the above can become a reality. Now that the water delivery service for school bells has become a reality, then the rest. A Ferrari costs only 20 cents. A single-family villa costs only 30 cents. It's all true. You can buy it yourself. Thinking of this, Yichen's heartbeat suddenly accelerated, and he was extremely excited. And this is just the store for that game. The game has other content. The more he thought about it, the more excited Yichen became. The chance to soar into the sky seems to have come. Yichen couldn't wait to take out his phone and take a closer look at the game. With a monthly salary of 3,000, I am the richest man. In the end, Yichen suppressed his inner thoughts and tried to calm down. Yichen knew that no one could tell anyone about the fact that his game had come true. Otherwise, he would be in big trouble. On the other side, after delivering the water with a red face, Su Ningxuang said goodbye to Yi Chun and turned to leave. Only the stunned people were left on the spot. Until now, they have no dare to believe that the scene just now was true. That's outrageous. After watching Su Ningxuang leave the playground and disappear from sight, everyone finally regained their composure. But in an instant, their eyes focused on Yi Chun again. What kind of identity does Yi Chun have if he can allow a dignified and aloof school beauty to take the initiative to deliver water? What was his previous relationship with the school beauty Su? Boy and girl? Quasi-boyfriend? Or even engaged? In an instant, the classmates surrounded Yi Chun and asked excitedly, Yi Chun, what's your relationship with the school belle of Su? Yeah. Why would the belle of Su school come and take the initiative to bring you water? Old Yi, you are so awesome. Let the dignified and cold school belle take the initiative to come delivering water is definitely a role model for our generation. I was envious of Zhou Haoran just now, but now I think you are the really awesome boss. What kind of treatment is this for the school beauty? Discussing. After hearing what everyone said, Zhou Haoran was even more ashamed. Damn, it's so embarrassing. Just now, when his girlfriend came to bring him water, he was very embarrassed and arrogantly asked Yi Chun if he had a girlfriend to bring him water. As a result, Yi Chun didn't speak and told him directly with actions. Not only does Yi Chun have it, but he is also the aloof school beauty Su Ningxuang. No matter in terms of looks, figure, or temperament, he is countless times better than his girlfriend. The more he thought about how he showed off just now, the more Zhou Haoran felt his face burning. What a shame. Zhou Haoran quickly asked his girlfriend to leave. After hearing everyone's questions, Yi Chun made an excuse. Su School Beauty and I are just ordinary friends. There is nothing. A special relationship. After all, the fact that my game came true will not be leaked under any circumstances. As for saying that I and Su Ningxuang are boyfriend and girlfriend, that is even more impossible. Now I and Su Ningxuang are not boyfriend and girlfriend. For the future, it's hard to say. Yi Chun, you are dishonest and don't tell the truth. That's right. Ordinary friends. Who would believe it? Everyone shook their heads. Obviously, Yi Chun's answer was not believable. After all, letting a dignified and cold school beauty take the initiative to deliver water is just a matter of ordinary friends. This is simply impossible. You can just let a female friend do this. It's very difficult to deliver water to you on a hot day. Not to mention the cold-tempered Su Ningxuang, the beauty of the school. It's obvious that Yi Chun is perfunctory and doesn't want to tell them, Yi Chun himself and Su. The true relationship between the school beauties. Since Yi Chun didn't want to talk about it, everyone didn't ask further. But everyone believed that the relationship between Yi Chun and Su Ningxuang was definitely not ordinary, and it was still early. For them to have a special relationship, they will know sooner or later. On the first day of military training, Su Ningxuang, the campus beauty, took the initiative to deliver water to a freshman. This incident will soon spread, and it will cause a big earthquake in the entire school. Those suitors will definitely be upset. The cold goddess in my heart actually took the initiative to give water to a freshman, even if there is no complicated relationship between Yi Chun and the school beauty, and will definitely arouse the envy and jealousy of Su Ningxuang's suitors. Yi Chun, I am afraid that his life will not be peaceful in the future. Yi Chun happened to be thirsty, so he opened the water Su Ningxuang gave and drank. At this scene, all the boys' eyes turned red. Yi Chun actually opened the water given by the school beauty and drank it. Gulu, gulu. Well, the taste is just ordinary water. Yi Chun muttered in his heart. Seeing the casual Yi Chun, the onlookers were dumbfounded. This was the water sent by the school beauty Su personally. If they get it, they will definitely not be willing to drink it. I don't know how the water tasted by Gaolong's school belle. Wouldn't it be sweeter and more fragrant? If they knew that Yi Chun thought the water tasted ordinary, they might even have the intention to kill Yi Chun. This is Versailles. How could the water given by the school beauty taste so? It will definitely be sweet, very sweet, although they haven't tasted it. The water delivery came to an end and the military training continued. But after what happened just now, everyone's minds were no longer on military training. Both boys and girls couldn't help but secretly observe Yi Chun. Especially the boys were envious of Yi Chun to the extreme. Time flies so fast. It's time to rest at noon, and the morning's military training is over. As soon as the military training ended, everyone went straight to the university cafeteria. Cooking is the most important thing. Especially the iced watermelon juice in the canteen is even more exciting. However, when everyone headed straight to the canteen, there was one person who was going in the opposite direction to everyone else. Yichen made an excuse to go back to the dormitory to get some things, and separated from several classmates. He has more important things than cooking. That is to carefully study the game with a monthly salary of 3,000. I am the richest man in the world. And spend 30 cents to buy all the Ferraris and single-family villas in the game mall. The more he thought about it, the more excited Yichen became. Before, I was an ordinary college student, but soon I became a multimillionaire with a supercar and a villa. Ferrari, single-family villa. I am coming. Yichen returned to the dormitory alone, couldn't wait to take out his mobile phone, and clicked on the game. With a monthly salary of 3,000, I am the richest man in the world. After entering the game, Yichen went straight to the mall and found the two remaining products in the mall. Ferrari SF90, priced at 0.2 yuan. A luxury single-family villa, priced at 0.3 yuan. Ferrari, single-family villa. These two things together cost tens of millions. Here, you can buy it for only 50 cents. It's hundreds of millions times cheaper, which is so cool. Without any hesitation, Yichen directly clicked to buy the Ferrari SF90. Game prompt: your level is not enough. You can only purchase one product per day. The time until your next purchase: 11 hours and 51 minutes. Suddenly, a pop-up window appeared. The level is not enough. You can only buy one product every day? Looking at the content on the pop-up window, Yichen muttered with some disappointment. With doubts, Yichen opened his game level. Level 1. Yichen was relieved when he saw this. That's right. I just started playing games, so it's normal to only have level 1. Fortunately, the limit is only 1 day, not a week or a month. 1 day, Yichen could still afford to wait. I only have to wait 1 day before my next purchase. Although he was a little regretful that he couldn't get the Ferrari and the villa immediately, Yichen was still very excited in his heart. After all, this is not a dream. It is real. Becoming a powerful person is no longer a dream. After calming down, Yichen began to study the game carefully. First of all, Yichen is concerned about the game level. After all, this is related to your qualifications to purchase goods. Now, Yichen is still at level 1. He only needs 100 experience points to upgrade to level 2. Only when he reaches level 2, he can buy 2 items a day. At level 3, there are 3 items and so on. The higher the level, the more items you can buy in a day. As for the game mall, there are also levels. After understanding the player levels, Yichen studied the mall again. He also discovered that shopping malls also have levels. Now Yichen's mall is just the most ordinary 1-star mall. There are only 3 products in the 1-star mall, and each product is very ordinary. Ferrari, a single-family villa, is ordinary? Seeing this, even Yichen couldn't help but complain. It turns out that in the game, things worth millions or tens of millions turn out to be low-level, most common products. This is too strong. Although he was complaining on his lips, Yichen was ecstatic in his heart. Even things worth tens of millions are common, but really good and expensive things are probably worth hundreds of millions, billions, or even higher. With excitement, Yichen continued to study. When the mall is upgraded to 2 stars, the number of products in the mall will be increased to 5. The value of goods in 2-star malls will increase tenfold. In Samsung Mall, the number of products will be increased to 8. The value of things in the mall will also increase tenfold again based on the original 2-star mall. After that, and so on. As if to increase players' desire to upgrade, a picture of the top-notch 9-star mall is included in the game. Looking at this picture, Yichen was completely stunned. 51% of Penguin Group's shares only cost 666 yuan. 70% of Louis Vuitton Group, the world's largest luxury goods group, and the status of president, only cost 999 yuan? Yichen looked at this blankly. Kind of picture, with an incredible look on his face. This is horrible. It is worthy of being the top 9-star mall. Penguin Group and Louis Vuitton Group, the world's top large companies, can buy 50% or 70% of the shares for only a few hundred yuan. In addition to these two well-known large groups, Yichen also saw the identity of the owner of the world's largest independent alternative asset management institution, the world's top biological research institute, etc., extremely terrifying products. The most expensive one only costs 1,666 yuan. Just buy two of them, and the position of the world's richest man will be yours. At this moment, Yichen finally understood why this game was called, with a monthly salary of 3,000. You will be the richest man in the world. This is true. For only 3,000 yuan, you can buy something worth hundreds of billions or even trillions in real life from the game. If you buy these, wouldn't you become the richest man in the world? The more he watched, the more excited Yichen became. This game is awesome. Yichen couldn't wait to upgrade and see what was in the real Jiuxing Mall. After all, what you are looking at now is just a photo. The feeling you get when you can buy something worth hundreds of billions, or even trillions, in person. It's definitely not comparable to looking at photos now. As for the improvement of the mall level, points are required. 1-star mall can be upgraded to a 2-star mall with only 50 points. Only 50 points, that's great. Yichen looked forward to it even more. Jiuxing Mall seemed to be getting closer and closer to him. Yichen studied all the content of the game and generally understood it. The game will issue some challenges or tasks based on the actual situation. As long as you complete game tasks and challenges, you can obtain different experience points and points. Points and experience points can be used to improve player level and mall level. Once you complete the game tasks, in addition to experience points and points, you will also receive various valuable rewards in reality. This is very strong. After researching and understanding, Yichen was ready to close the game and go to eat. Now, Yichen only needs to wait for the game to release tasks or challenges, and for the next day to come. The next day, I was able to buy another item in the mall. Every time you purchase an item in the mall, a new one will appear the next day, never ending. Hey, that's not right. Since it's a game, will there be a gift pack for beginners? Thinking about it, Yichen quickly found the backpack option. As soon as Yichen entered, something like a big gift package popped up in the game. Whether to open the novice gift pack. Open. Congratulations on getting 1,000 times cashback card. Expiration time: 4 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. Congratulations on getting a LV2 one-day experience card. Expiration time: 5 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. Congratulations on getting a point card Zhang, worth 10 points. Yichen opened the novice gift package, and 3 different cards suddenly appeared. After just one glance, Yichen understood. The first card is 1,000 times cashback card. It is very simple to use. For example, if you spend $1, you can get 1,000 times cashback, which is 1,000 yuan. The upper limit of this card is 5 million, which means that you only need to spend 5,000 yuan to get 5 million. This is so cool. As for the second one, the L2 experience card is even simpler. It just temporarily reflects the level 2 ability. That is, you can purchase 2 products in the mall in one day. Not to mention the third one, which is equivalent to a reward of 10 points. The first 1,000-fold cashback card will expire in more than 4 days, so don't worry. But I'm worried about the second L2 experience card. It will expire in a few hours. So Yichen clicked to use it without hesitation. In an instant, Yichen's original level of L1 became L2. Time did not wait. Yichen immediately entered the mall. Ferrari SF90, priced at 0.2 yuan. A luxury single-family villa, priced at 0.3 yuan. Because he had just become LV2, he had the ability to purchase 2 items, so Yichen bought these 2 items in one go. Bought. The Ferrari and the villa only cost Yichen 50 cents. Congratulations, the Ferrari SF90 has been successfully purchased. It is now parked in the school parking lot. Please check it carefully. Congratulations, the Villa number 8 in Lingyun Tiangong Villa District has been successfully purchased. Within 24 hours, a staff member will come to you to sign the contract. Please keep your mobile phone open. Ferrari and single-family villas are all available. Originally, Yichen was planning to buy these 2 things, but because of the level restriction, unexpectedly, after studying for a long time, the 2 things here were still in Yichen's hands. Great. Yichen knew about the Ferrari SF90, which generally sells for about 5 million. As for the Lingyun Tiangong Villa area, Yichen seemed a little familiar, but couldn't remember it for a while. With strong curiosity, Yichen checked the situation of the Lingyun Tiangong Villa area. After seeing the result, Yichen was stunned. What's happening here? Lingyun Tiangong Villa area is built around the famous Lingyun Lake with beautiful scenery and beautiful environment. It is a favorite place for countless rich people in Jiangzhou. Precisely because of the geographical location of Lingyun Tiangong Villa area, its price is equally horribly expensive. Lingyun Tiangong is one of the highest villa areas in Jiangzhou. The price of each villa is generally 30 to 40 million. As the saying goes, rare things are valuable, and Lingyun Lake is not big, and there are not many villas in Lingyun Tiangong. There are only 26 buildings. Among them, the 5 villas number 1, number 6, number 8, number 11, and number 18 have the largest area and the highest price. Each of these 5 villas is priced at 50 million. You know, Jiangzhou is just an ordinary second and third-tier city, and a 50 million villa is quite scary. This time, the villa Yichen bought from the game was Villa number 8, one of the most expensive villas in Lingyun Tiangong. After reading the introduction of Lingyun Tiangong Villa area, Yichen was stunned. This was something he never expected. Yichen originally thought that the villa purchased from the game would only cost around 20 to 30 million. This is already considered a relatively good villa in Jiangzhou. But he never expected that the result far exceeded Yichen's expectations. This time I spent 30 cents to buy a villa from the game, which turned out to be one of the top luxury houses in Jiangzhou. A villa priced at 50 million. This was something Yichen couldn't even imagine. Villa number 8 of Lingyun Tiangong. Yichen muttered, and now he was waiting for the staff of Lingyun Tiangong to sign a contract with him. With a monthly salary of 3,000, I am the richest man in the world. This game is so powerful. I only spent 50 cents and bought something worth 55 million. This made people dare not accept it for a while. With these two things, Yichen's net worth suddenly skyrocketed from more than 1,000 to more than 50 million. Suddenly it increased by more than 50,000 times. It seems that I am not very far away from becoming a billionaire. It seems that his desire to achieve a small goal is not far away. Regarding the villa, I am waiting for the staff to contact me. But that Ferrari SF90 was already parked on the playground. How could Yichen not take a look? And now, the car key of the Ferrari SF90 appeared in Yichen's pocket. Is this your first car? Who can imagine that the first car owned by an ordinary college student is a 5 million Ferrari? Most boys have a dream of running a supercar. But unfortunately, this is indeed just a dream. I can only think about it. After all, in reality, few people can afford a supercar worth millions. But now, what was once a dream has become a reality. Yichen owns his first supercar. This feels so good. Fortunately, Yichen passed the driver's license test during the previous summer vacation. Otherwise, even if there was a supercar now, Yichen wouldn't be able to drive it. Thinking about it, Yichen went straight to the playground. 10 minutes later, Yichen arrived at the playground. At first glance, Yichen saw his Ferrari SF90. After all, among a bunch of ordinary cars, a supercar is very eye-catching. The ultimate sense of lines and power make it hard not to like it. Looking at it, Yichen took out the car keys, opened the car door, and got in. The first time I rode a supercar, the feeling was indeed different from riding an ordinary car. From now on, he is a man with a supercar. After experiencing the supercar for a while, Yichen's excitement had calmed down. This is my first supercar, but it's definitely not my only one. After all, with the game, with a monthly salary of 3,000, I am the richest man in the world. Yichen has more and more awesome supercars waiting for him to choose. Like those tens of millions of Koenigsegg, Bugatti Veyron, etc. After all, it is just the lowest level 1-star mall now. After arriving at the 2-star mall, that top-notch supercar should appear. After experiencing it for a while, Yichen closed the car door and left. He hasn't eaten yet? After arriving at the restaurant, after lunch, Yichen returned to his dormitory. As soon as Yichen walked in, he saw 3 roommates gathered together, having a heated discussion. I just heard Lao Lu say that he saw a very handsome supercar in the parking lot. What? A supercar? There is a supercar in the parking lot? In the past, I only saw it in movies and TV series. The rich second generation drove a supercar when they were in college, but one day, it would become a reality. The three people gathered around, their words full of envy. That is a supercar, the dream of most boys. At this moment, a burst of footsteps came. An unexpected person came to visit. It was Zhou Haoran, who showed off that he had a girlfriend on the playground before. What are you talking about? Zhou Haoran also heard the heated discussion of several people outside just now. Hearing this, several of Yi Chen's roommates turned their heads and saw Yi Chen and Zhou Haoran walking in. It's nothing. We just heard that there was a supercar parked in the school parking lot. One of Yi Chen's roommates explained. Oh. Hearing this, Zhou Haoran's eyes suddenly lit up. I haven't seen a supercar with my own eyes, and I kind of want to take a look. I've seen one on the road before, but never and I've observed it closely. How about we go take a look together? Yi Chen's roommate said excitedly. Don't worry, it's too hot now. Let's wait until we have a rest in the evening. Someone suggested. After the military training in the morning, several people have been exposed enough. Let me first ask if Lao Lu took any photos after seeing the supercar. Roommate said, and sent a message directly to Lao Lu. Lao Lu was his high school classmate. Both of them were admitted to this university, but not in the same major. I wonder which boss this supercar belongs to. I'm so jealous that I can drive a supercar in college. It's so awesome. It's really irritating to compare people to each other. We are still poor. By that time, I had already achieved my life goal. Several of Yi Chen's roommates said with emotion. Hearing this, Yi Chen didn't say anything, but a mysterious smile appeared on Zhou Haoran's face next to him. His expression gradually turned grim. The guy who can drive a supercar in college is so powerful. I wonder who he is. That's it. It would be great if I could get to know this big guy. Several of Yi Chen's roommates discussed, and they all wanted to meet him. Such a big shot. Even if this supercar is not theirs, it is enough for them to know someone who drives a supercar. Ahem. After hearing this, Zhou Haoran coughed dryly. Under the gaze of several people, Zhou Haoran took a few steps forward and came to the center of the crowd. To be honest, that supercar is mine. I originally wanted to keep a low profile, Zhou Haoran said with great regret. Although he said he should keep a low profile, his face was filled with pride and show-off. What? Hearing this, several of Yi Chen's roommates were stunned. They never expected that they would lament the supercar driving boss for so long. It turned out to be his classmate Zhou Haoran. He just entered college and he was already driving a supercar? Ego. The three of them were shocked and looked at Zhou Haoran with envy. Enjoying the envious and shocked looks of several people, Zhou Haoran was extremely proud. It's fun to show off. Because this morning, he showed off that his girlfriend was delivering water and was easily slapped in the face by Yi Chen. So Zhou Haoran had other thoughts. He must get his face back. Forget it about a girlfriend. No matter how beautiful she is, she won't be able to compare to the school beauty Sue. Zhou Haoran began to think about other aspects. During military training, he racked his brains and finally thought of it. Yes, he bought a car. And it's a supercar. Although his family is not the top rich, they still have a small amount of savings. On the first day he got his driver's license, his family took him to buy a car. Originally, the family was planning to buy him a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW. But in order to show off, Zhou Haoran worked hard and finally got his family to agree and buy him a Porsche. Although it is the Porsche 718, the cheapest and basic supercar. A Porsche 718 generally costs around several hundred thousand. Zhou Haoran's Porsche 718 cost nearly 800,000. Although it is not as good as Ferrari, Lamborghini, and other supercars, it is still a sports car after all. As soon as you talk about it, driving a sports car by yourself is quite a face-saving thing. It's definitely a show-off tool. Look, let him pretend now. With the decision made, Zhou Haoran called his family during a break in military training and asked his family to drive his Porsche 718 outside the school. He didn't even come to eat just now. He came directly outside the school, took the car from his family, and drove it to the school. After doing all this, Zhou Haoran went to eat. While eating, he was still thinking about how to show off for the best effect. He originally wanted to show off in front of everyone in the class, But he didn't expect what happened just now. In order to show off, Zhou Haoran admitted it directly. Because they haven't received the picture yet, several of Yichin's roommates didn't see the supercar. So they surrounded Zhou Haoran out of curiosity and asked curiously, "Old Zhou, what is your supercar? Tell me quickly." Zhou Haoran was quite satisfied as he enjoyed everyone's envious looks. "It's so cool to show off. Mine is a Porsche 718. I spent nearly $1 million to buy it. Although it is the most basic supercar, its performance is still very strong." Zhou Haoran continued, "Although I bought it for 800,000 yuan, in order to show off, Zhou Haoran raised the price to 1 million. If you like it, I can take you to see it when you have time and let you sit down and experience it." "Really? That's really great," Yichin's two roommates said excitedly. Unexpectedly, one day, they will also be lucky enough to experience a supercar. Isn't that right? At this time, Yichin's other roommate, who was Lao Lu's friend, had just received Lao Lu's reply. "Old Zhou, is your sports car a Porsche 718? He asked Zhou Haoran in surprise. "Yes, it's a Porsche 718. Zhou Haoran nodded. "That's not right." Old Lu said that what he saw was a Ferrari SF90 worth more than 5 million yuan. Because he didn't know what the supercar was, so Lao Lu stood there and checked his cell phone for a long time before he found the car. Model.
Ye chance roommate corrected.
As soon as these words came out, the atmosphere in the entire dormitory suddenly changed and became extremely awkward. Zhou Haoran's face turned red at a speed visible to the naked eye. This time he was so embarrassed. The supercar they just discussed was not their own Porsche 718, but a Ferrari SF90. Even though they are both sports cars, the gap between the two is too big. Not to mention anything else, but you can tell from the price. Porsche 718, 800,000. Ferrari SF90, more than 5 million. One Ferrari SF90 is enough to buy 6 or 7 Porsche 718s. Ahem, your friend saw it right. Are you sure it's a Ferrari SF90? Zhou Haoran asked again, somewhat unwillingly. Sure. He sent the photo. Look at it. Although they didn't recognize the model of the supercar, they could still distinguish the logos of Ferrari and Porsche. A few people came over curiously and saw that it was indeed a Ferrari, not a Porsche. Looking at the photo, Zhou Haoran was extremely embarrassed. Ferrari, that's the real supercar. The Ferrari SF90 costs more than 5 million. I'm so envious. Looking at the Ferrari in the photo, several of Yichin's roommates sighed. Suddenly, Zhou Haoran's Porsche 718 no longer smells good. There is no way the Porsche 718 can compete with the Ferrari SF90. The two are not on the same level at all. The person who can drive a Ferrari SF90 is definitely not an ordinary person. Maybe he is a teacher or professor in school. Zhou Haoran said stiffly in order to regain his face. It is impossible for ordinary students to afford such a supercar. Run. At this time, after hearing a few people talking about the Ferrari SF90, Yichin was a little curious if it was his own, so he came over. It's a pity that I can't experience what it's like to ride in a Ferrari. Yes, it's such a pity.
Ye chance roommate siket.
But at this moment, a sudden voice came. This Ferrari belongs to me. As soon as he said this, the entire dormitory fell into a deathly silence. In an instant, everyone's eyes were focused on Yichin. What did they just hear? Yichin said, Is that Ferrari SF90 his? I don't have any ears, there must be something wrong. Yichin, you said this Ferrari SF90 belongs to you? Zhou Haoran asked in disbelief. Yeah, what's wrong? As he said this, Yichin casually threw the car keys in his pocket onto the bed. To be honest, it was a little uncomfortable to have the car keys in my pocket for the first time. In an instant, everyone's attention was focused on Yichin's car keys. Looking at the Ferrari logo on the car key, several people were completely convinced. That Ferrari SF90 definitely belongs to Yichin. Their roommate and classmate actually drives a Ferrari SF90 costing more than 5 million yuan? This is unimaginable. Old Yi, you are so awesome. You are so strong, Old Yi. He took Yichin's Ferrari key with trembling hands, and several people gathered around him, saying with envy. Looking at Yichin's Ferrari key, Zhou Haoran's eyes widened. It's so embarrassing. Once again, he was ruthlessly crushed by Yi Chen. He just spoke harshly, saying that a supercar as awesome as the Ferrari SF90 could not belong to a student. The next second, Yi Chen stood up. Zhou Haoran felt a burning pain on his face. In the morning, because his girlfriend delivered water, she was mercilessly crushed by Yi Chen. At noon, in order to regain his face, he specially bought his own sports car. But as soon as he started to show off, he was easily crushed by Yi Chen again. Is this justified? Yi Chen is a devil. At this moment, Zhou Haoran was about to cry. He was so embarrassed. Especially when he thought about how arrogant and showy he was just now, Zhou Haoran felt even more ashamed. So he took advantage of a few people not paying attention and left in despair. Because none of the roommates had ever ridden a supercar, at the strong request of a few people, we decided to take a ride on a supercar. Marvin took them to the parking lot. Fuck, he's so handsome. Old Yi, you're so awesome. Seeing Yi Chen's Ferrari SF90 with their own eyes, the three of them were deeply shocked. Seeing it on a mobile phone and seeing it in person are two completely different experiences. Just on Yi Chen's side, several roommates were attracted by Ferrari SF90, when she felt envious. This morning, the news about the aloof school beauty Su Ningxuang taking the initiative to deliver water to Yi Chen also spread. This matter has become the school's forum. The most popular topics such as moments. Ah, my goddess, how could she take the initiative to give water to a boy? My aloof school beauty, why have you changed? I'm so angry. Is there anyone who can form a group? I want to go and see. Who is this new student named Yi Chen? He made our Su school beauty like this. Under the post, all the replies were filled with envy, jealousy, and hatred for Yi Chen. Yi Chen suddenly became the public enemy of these people. Several of Su Ningxuang's loyal suitors could no longer hold themselves back and wanted to meet Yi Chen in person. On the other side, after watching super racing with his roommate, Yi Chen accidentally received a call from his cousin Zhao Shuxian on the way back to his dormitory. Zhao Shuxian is Yi Chen's aunt's daughter. She is also in this university. She is now a sophomore. She is also Yi Chen's senior. She has a very good relationship with Yi Chen, like a brother and sister. Marvin originally chose this school because his aunt recommended it. This school was pretty good. Yi Chen, how are you? How does it feel to be given water by the cold school bell? As soon as Yi Chen answered the phone, his cousin Zhao Shuxuan's curious voice suddenly came from inside. Huh. For some reason, Yi Chen heard something else from Zhao Shuxuan's words. It's okay.
Ye Chen replietça sualli.
What do you mean it's okay? You know, your sister and I have worked hard to get Ningxuang to deliver water to you. Zhao Shuxian was immediately dissatisfied when she heard Yi Chen's answer. Hearing this, Yi Chen was a little confused. What's going on? Yi Chen asked in surprise. Zhao Shuxian explained to Yi Chen, and after listening, Yi Chen almost understood. It turns out that Zhao Shuxian and Su Ningxuang are classmates and best friends. Because Su Ningxuang has been single, Zhao Shuxian wanted to match her up. She felt that Yi Chen and Su Ningxuang were very suitable. Although Ningxuang was very beautiful, her brother was also very handsome. After all, wealth does not go to outsiders. Although Su Ningxuang is now her best friend, Zhao Shuxian hopes that one day, Su Ningxuang can call her cousin. That must be really cool, hee. So in order to bring Yi Chen and Su Ningxuang together, Zhao Shuxian and Su Ningxuang played a little game. The loser will go on a big adventure. In the end, Zhao Shuxian won easily. The big adventure she asked Su Ningxuang to do was to give Yi Chen delivers water. After listening to Zhao Shuxuan's explanation, Yi Chen almost understood. The school beauty water delivery service that I bought from the game did not appear out of thin air. It can influence reality and allow this kind of service to appear in a reasonable and legal way. After all, it was abnormal to ask Su Ningxuang to deliver water to him out of thin air. But if it was a big adventure, it would be reasonable. Zhao Shuxian was able to win the game easily and asked Su Ningxuang to deliver water to her. I'm afraid it had something to do with her game of, with a monthly salary of 3,000, you will be the richest man in the world. Thinking of this, Yi Chen had a smile on his face. This is better. If the game products can be presented in a reasonable and legal way, there will be no subsequent problems and they will appear abrupt. Although the school bell paid for the water delivery service with his own money, Yi Chen could feel that Zhao Shuxian was doing it for his own good. so he went along with the situation. Thank you very much, sister.
Ye Chen tank ether.
I have to say that my cousin is very kind to me. She knows that she is single, so she wants to bring herself and Su Ningxuang together. That's pretty much it. Zhao Shuxian was in a good mood after hearing Yi Chen's thanks. She is ready to carry out her plan to bring Yi Chun and Su Ningxuang together. She really felt that the two of them were a good match. See you later. Zhao Shuxian finally added. After making an agreement with Yi Chun, Zhao Shuxian hung up the phone. After a while, another strange phone call came. Hello, are you Mr. Yi Chen? I am a staff member of Lingyun Tiangong Villa area. I see here that you have bought Villa number 8 and paid for it. The call was answered, and it was a middle-aged man. The voice of a young man. I don't know when you will have time. Let's go over and give you the contract. After hearing this, Yi Chen thought for a moment. My own villa is coming so soon, which is great. You have time now, so come directly.
Ye Chen replied.
Okay, we will send it to you right away. The middle-aged man said respectfully. After that, the staff member asked Yi Chen for the specific address before hanging up the phone. After hanging up the phone, Yi Chen came to the place agreed with Zhao Shuxian. When Yi Chen arrived, Zhao Shuxian was already here. And she didn't come alone. She actually brought Su Ningxuang with her. After seeing Yi Chen coming, Zhao Shuxian quickly greeted Yi Chen. Although you have met before, let me introduce each other. Yi Chen came over and Zhao Shuxian spoke. Su Ningxuang, my classmate and best friend. Ningxuang is the school belle of our school. She is the most beautiful girl in the country. She is like a fish and a goose, and she is ashamed of flowers when she closes the moon. Zhao Shuxian said a string of words, and even Su Ningxuang felt a little embarrassed. This is my cousin, Yi Chen. He has many advantages and is very handsome. In order to leave a good impression on Su Ningxuang, although she usually complained about Yi Chen, this time, Zhao Shuxian still praised Yi Chen vigorously. Yi Chen and Su Ningxuang officially met. In fact, like Yi Chen, Su Ningxuang was also deceived by Zhao Shuxian. Zhao Shuxian and Su Ningxuang said they had eaten lunch and went out for a walk. Because of her cold personality, Su Ningxuang didn't have many friends at school, so when Zhao Shuxian said this, Su Ningxuang didn't refuse.
Unexpectedly, Yi met Yi Chen.
Thinking of the water delivery this morning, Su Ningxuang's face turned slightly red. Yi Chen has just entered school. Let's take him around the school and introduce him, Zhao Shuxian said. Under the leadership of Zhao Shuxian, several people began to walk forward. Because it was lunchtime, there were not many people on the road. Although this time it's not just Yi Chen and Su Ningxuang, but also Zhao Shuxian. But the cool school beauty walking with a boy is also very eye-catching. When the three of them left, a tall, thin, fair-skinned young man was walking towards them. Unintentionally, after seeing Su Ningxuang and Yi Chen, he was stunned and his eyes widened. For a moment, a surge of anger surged into his heart. This young man's name is Lin Xiang, and he is Su Ningxuang's loyal pursuer. I saw a post on the forum where Su Ningxuang took the initiative to give water to a new student. Lin Xiang didn't quite believe it yet, thinking the picture was from P. He didn't believe that his goddess, a dignified and aloof school beauty, would take the initiative to give water to a boy. But now, seeing this scene, Lin Xiang finally believed it. Although he didn't know the relationship between Yi Chen and Su Ningxuang, Lin Xiang looked at Yi Chen with hostility in his eyes. Lin Xiang subconsciously wanted to step forward and question Yi Chen, but reason told him that he must not be impulsive in front of Su Ningxuang. Lin Xiang's mind began to spin crazily, thinking about what to do. Unintentionally, he thought of a way, so he walked over with a smile on his face. Su School Beauty. Lin Xiang came over and greeted her very gentlemanly. Beauty Zhao, long time no see. Su Ningxuang and Zhao Shuxian looked forward and found that it was Lin Xiang. Long time no see. Who is this? Lin Xiang asked, pointing at Yi Chen. This is my cousin Yi Chen, Zhao Shuxian explained. Is this guy Zhao Shuxuan's cousin? Hearing Zhao Shuxuan's words, Lin Xiang breathed a sigh of relief. But he was still hostile to Yi Chen. After all, this morning, the school beauty Su personally went to deliver water to Yi Chen. Lin Xiang nodded casually to Yi Chen, stopped talking to Yi Chen, and began to flatter Su Ningxuang. Did you just come back from outside? Zhao Shuxian asked curiously, looking at the direction Lin Xiang came from. Yes, I just came back from outside. Lin Xiang nodded. It wasn't comfortable to live in the dormitory, so I bought a house outside. Lin Xiang replied, pretending to be relaxed, and he was about to start showing off. Bought a house. Hearing these words, Zhao Shuxian was a little stunned. Not to mention for college students, even for white-collar workers working hard in society, buying a house is definitely a big deal. Lin Xiang has actually bought a house. What house is it? Zhao Shuxian asked curiously. It's nothing, it's not a big house. It's just a duplex with an area of more than 200 square meters, just average. Lin Xiang said, pretending to be modest. A duplex with more than 200 square meters? Hearing this, even Su Ningxuang was a little surprised. Housing prices around here are not cheap. At least more than 20,000. A duplex of more than 200 square meters, a set would cost at least 6 million, or even more. Lin Xiang is just a sophomore. How can he be so wealthy? Seeing that even Su Ningxuang was a little surprised, Lin Xiang felt extremely proud. I succeeded in pretending. How much does such a big house cost? Zhao Shuxian asked curiously. Not much. More than 7 million. Well decorated. Lin Xiang continued to show off. I just bought it now, and I will finish the furniture and everything by then. You are welcome to play in my house. The space in my house is okay. After hearing this, Su Ningxuang and Zhao Shuxian declined politely. Although they were a little surprised that Lin Xiang bought a house of more than 200 square meters, they still would not accept such an invitation. Lin Xiang was not familiar with them. Don't refuse. I'll invite more people then. Seeing Su Ningxuang's refusal, Lin Xiang explained quickly. By the way, this little brother can also go together then. Lin Xiang deliberately mentioned Yichun. Actually, I think the house is not bad, suitable for a wedding room. Little brother, you can also buy a house nearby in the future. It's not expensive, only more than 7 million. Lin Xiang began to belittle Yichun to improve himself. Come show off. Even if you can't pay the full price like me, you can still pay in installments, and the loan will last for decades at most. It's okay. I finally bought a luxury house of more than 200 square meters. Can I not show it off? I have already bought a house since I was in college, and I paid the full price, which is quite capable. But this kid, let alone in college, even if he graduates from college and works for a few years, he won't even be able to pay the down payment for a house. This is the gap between the two. In such a comparison, school beauty Sue can tell who is better and more capable at a glance, without having to say anything herself. After pretending to be cool, Lin Xiang became even more arrogant and felt even more proud in his heart. Boy, this is reality. Without money, you are nothing. You still want to compete with me for the school beauty, haha, are you worthy? Just when Lin Xiang was feeling proud, a middle-aged man in a suit suddenly walked away. Come over. When they came to a few people, the middle-aged man in a suit asked politely, Who is Yichun, Mr. Yi? Upon hearing this, several people immediately looked at Yichun. That's me. Yichun said. Hello, Mr. Yi. I am the staff member of Lingyun Tiangong Villa who contacted you before. The middle-aged man in a suit stepped forward and introduced himself. Please sign these 2 contracts. Okay.
Yichun nodded.
The staff at Lingyun Tiangong Villa area? Hearing the introduction of the man in a suit, the people around him were a little confused. They have heard of Lingyun Tiangong Villa area. That is one of the top villa areas in Jiangzhou. Why did the staff of this villa area come to Yichun? For a moment, no one could figure it out. Could it be that Yichun bought a villa in Lingyun Tiangong? How is this possible? As one of the top villa areas in Jiangzhou, the villas in Lingyun Tiangong cost at least 20 to 30 million. Can a freshman who has just entered school afford a villa? Do not make jokes. After signing the contract, Yichun kept 1 copy, and the man in the suit took 1 copy back to the company. Happy cooperation, Mr. Yi. Please keep this key. With that said, the man in a suit handed the villa key and other things to Yichun respectfully. Okay. Yichun took it. After saying something to Yichun, the man in the suit left. At this time, Zhao Shuxian came over first and asked curiously, Yichun, what's going on? While putting away the keys, Yichun replied casually, Nothing. I just bought a villa. Although this villa, Yichen came from, with a monthly salary of 3,000, I am the richest man in the world game, and only spent 30 cents on it. But it was also bought, so it was okay for Yichen to say so. After hearing Yichen's words, several people present were stunned. What did they hear? Su Ningxuang and Zhao Shuxian were fine, but Lin Xiang was the most shocked. As a native of Jiangzhou and with extremely favorable family conditions, Lin Xiang knew more about Lingyun Tiangong Villa. Any villa there is priced at more than 30 million. This price prohibits many wealthy people. Not to mention, there are even more expensive villas in the Lingyun Tiangong Villa area. This Yichen actually bought a villa in Lingyun Tiangong. OMG! Lin Xiang was stunned.
What?
Zhao Shuxian covered her mouth and couldn't believe it. Yichen, are you telling the truth? Of course. Naturally, Yichen would not hide it from Zhao Shuxian, so he directly handed her the contract he had just signed. Zhao Shuxian took the contract and opened it. Sure enough, it was the purchase contract for Lingyun Tiangong Villa. Lin Xiang couldn't believe this was true, so he came over and stretched his head to take a look. In an instant, Lin Xiang felt as if he had been struck by lightning, and his whole body felt bad. Real. Yichen actually bought a villa in Lingyun Tiangong? How is it possible? How is it possible? Lin Xiang was immediately stunned. This is one of the top luxury homes in Jiangzhou, worth tens of millions. A freshman just bought it randomly? I originally thought that by buying a 200 square meter duplex, I would be very powerful and wealthy. But now I see that Yichen actually bought a villa in Lingyun Tiangong. Lin Xiang was directly frightened. 7 million things, compared with tens of millions of things, instantly become extremely stretched. At this moment, the sense of superiority and pride in Lin Xiang's heart disappeared immediately. Lin Xiang was speechless. I just satirized Yichen, asking for a loan of tens of dollars. Only in years can I afford a house like my own. But now, Yichen told him with practical actions. Not to mention a $200 duplex like his own. Even if it is a villa in Lingyun Tiangong worth tens of millions, he can buy it, as he says, easily. Is this the gap? It turns out that after doing this for a long time, I am the clown? Ridiculous. Really ridiculous. In an instant, a sense of frustration surged into Lin Xiang's heart. He bought a villa worth tens of millions at once. Maybe this is the real boss, the real big spender. Compared with Yichen, he is nothing at all, just making a small fuss. I'm afraid that the pretense I just put on was just a poor performance in the eyes of others. Hey! Lin Xiang sighed and was deeply shocked. He couldn't stay here any longer and left in despair. I had a very average impression of Lin Xiang at first, but now that he leaves on his own initiative, Su Ningxuang and Zhao Shuxian will naturally not stop him. The current situation was not suitable for continuing to walk, so Su Ningxuang also chose to leave. However, before leaving, Su Ningxuang and Yichen added WeChat and contact information to each other at Zhao Shuxian's strong suggestion. After Su Ningxuang left, Zhao Shuxian immediately asked Yichen what was going on. After all, as Yichen's cousin, Zhao Shuxian knows Yichen's family situation quite well. How could Yichen afford tens of millions of dollars? It's nothing, sister. Do you know about virtual currencies? I got a batch of them a long time ago. I forgot about it as time went by, and I only remembered it recently.
Yichen explained.
Sooner or later, he will tell his family about his sudden wealth. It doesn't matter if he tells Zhao Shuxian now. This is the reason that Yichen has been thinking about all morning. It is slightly more reasonable than winning the lottery or something. After hearing this, Zhao Shuxian said she just barely relaxed. She was afraid that Yichen would do something bad. After continuing to talk to Yichen for a while, Zhao Shuxian left. Even now, she is still confused and doesn't believe what she just said. Everything that happened. Is his brother now a rich man? This is so dreamy. After separating from Zhao Shuxian, Yichen returned to the dormitory and put away the contract. Although Yichen also wanted to take a look at his Lingyun temple. What does the villa look like? But I have no time, so I can only postpone it. In the afternoon, just after Yichen finished his military training, cousin Zhao Shuxian sent another message to Yichen. Ningxuang will bring you water this morning. Please treat her to a meal tonight. It's a way of expressing gratitude. My cousin still didn't forget to match up Yichen and Su Ningxuang. Seeing this, Yi Chun was stunned. Just as Yi Chun was thinking, his phone suddenly vibrated, and there was a prompt for, with a monthly salary of 3,000. I am the richest man in the world. Yi Chun quickly opened it game. As soon as he entered the game, Yi Chun saw that the game had released a mission. Game mission. Promise to Zhao Shuxian, treat Su Ningxuang to dinner, mission reward. 100% ownership of the top restaurant Shangranju. Become the boss of Shangranju, experience points. 5 points, 2 points. Reject the task, experience points -3, points -1. Seeing this task, Yi Chun made an instant decision. Needless to say, he must have agreed to his cousin. The mission reward was so generous that Yi Chun had no reason to refuse. What's more, if you refuse a mission, you will have points and experience points deducted, which is outrageous. Forget about the points. Now I have 10 points, but I have 0 experience points. If you deduct it again, wouldn't it be a negative? By then, I'm afraid I won't even be able to keep the first level. So how can I buy things in the mall? Yi Chun has also heard too much about Shangranju. Changranju is a well-known top restaurant in Jiangzhou, with an endless stream of customers and per capita consumption of 400 to 500. The total value is probably tens of millions higher. The reward for this mission is so exciting. Thinking about it, Yi Chun agreed with his cousin. That's right. As for Ningxuang, leave it to me. Seeing that Yi Chun agreed, Zhao Shuxian was very satisfied, so that her hard work would not be in vain. Seeing his cousin being so enthusiastic about him, Yi Chun was a little touched. Before, if I didn't have much money, I would forget about it. But now, I am different. Yi Chun is going to give his cousin a small gift. There is also a 1,000-fold rebate in the novice gift package. When the time comes, you will get a rebate of 5 million when you spend money. Isn't it easy to buy any gifts with 5 million in hand? As for the military training in the evening, Yi Chun had asked his elder sister before, just to get together to sing and interact. So Yi Chun didn't plan to go and asked his roommate to help him answer the question. Is it important to accompany the school beauty to dinner during military training in the evening? Yi Chun just wanted to express his gratitude to the school beauty Sue for bringing him water on a hot day. Definitely not because of some top restaurants and experience points. Yes, it is like that. On the other side, in the girls' dormitory, Zhao Shuxian slowly came to Su Ningxuang's side. Zhao Shuxian sat next to Su Ningxuang and said, Ningxuang, Yi Chun is very tired from military training. Originally, I wanted to take him out for a big meal tonight, but something suddenly happened. Can you take my place and go out for a meal with Yi Chun first? I'll go find you immediately after I finish handling the matter. Ah? Su Ningxuang was stunned when she heard Zhao Shuxian's words. Are she and Yi Chun the only ones going out to eat? At this time, another girl in the dormitory, Zhang Wan, suddenly came over. Ningxuang, Shuxian, are you going out for dinner tonight? Zhang Wan asked curiously. I have made an appointment with some classmates, and we are going out to eat. How about we come together? Su Ningxuang still wanted to refuse, but she couldn't bear Zhang Wan's warm invitation and finally agreed. Zhao Shuxian did not object. Indeed, it was a little too fast to let Ningxuang eat with Yi Chun alone now. Afterwards, Zhao Shuxian contacted Yi Chun and asked Yi Chun for his opinion. Yi Chun doesn't have any problem. As long as he has dinner with Su Ningxuang, a few more people won't be a big problem. After all, the most important thing now is to win the top restaurant, Shangranju. As for eating alone with Su Ningxuang, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future. After confirming the meeting place, Yi Chun hung up the phone. Yi Chun asked his roommate to help him answer the questions that night, then returned to the dormitory, took a shower, and changed out of his military training uniform. After checking the time, Yi Chun took the keys to the Ferrari and went straight to the meeting place mentioned by Zhao Shuxian. When Yi Chun arrived, Su Ningxuang happened to arrive as well. Not long after Yi Chun and Su Ningxuang met, Zhang Wan also arrived with several classmates. Including Zhang Wan, 2 men and 2 women. 4 people walked towards each other. One of the boys with fair skin suddenly showed hostility in his eyes after seeing Yi Chun and Su Ningxuang standing together. This boy's name is Fang Buochao. He is a classmate of several people and a well-known rich second generation. Originally, Fang Buochao had not made an appointment with Zhang Wan to go out for dinner together. But this afternoon, I accidentally heard about it, especially knowing that Su Ningxuang would also go. So Fang Buoqiao immediately took the initiative to join in and promised that he would pay for tonight's meal. Since someone offered to pay, Zhang Wan naturally would not refuse. Fang Buoqiao is Su Ningxuang's admirer. He read yesterday's post and knew about Su Ningxuang sending water to Yichun. He was originally very envious of Yichun, but now he saw that Yichun wanted to go out to eat together. For a moment, he became even more angry. No, I must take action against this kid soon and make him look embarrassed in front of the Su school beauties. Having made up his mind, Fang Buoqiao and others came over. Su Ningxuang, who originally looked calm, changed slightly when she saw that Fang Buoqiao was among the people coming. Obviously, she had a bad impression of Fang Buoqiao. If she hadn't promised someone else, I'm afraid Su Ningxuang would have left. After meeting, we introduced each other. I know a very good top restaurant, and I'm a gold member there. Let's go eat there soon. Fang Buoqiao suggested. Everyone is here, let's go. Fang Buoqiao looked like a family member. Okay, let's go. The others had no objection. Wait a moment, I'll drive to pick you up.
Hey, no, no.
Just as he was about to leave, Fang Buoqiao suddenly slapped his head and said with great regret, I forgot, Yichen is here this time. My car can't accommodate 6 people, so it can only accommodate 5 people. Fang Buoqiao started to get angry. Otherwise, Yichen, you can take a taxi yourself and I'll pay for the taxi fare?
Fang Buoqiao deliberately excluded Yichen.
Hearing this, others had no objections. Only Su Ningxuang frowned slightly, feeling that this was not good. Today, she came mainly to take care of Yichen on Xu Xuan's behalf. How could she let Yichen take a taxi alone? Su Ningxuang was about to speak and wanted to take a taxi with Yichen. But before Su Ningxuang could speak, Yichen had already spoken. It doesn't matter, I have a car, no need to bother. Huh. Hearing Yichen's words, Zhang Wan and others were stunned. Fang Buoqiao was a second-generation rich man, so it was normal for him to have a car, but they didn't expect that Yichen also had a car. He seems to be a new student who just entered school this year. As a freshman, you have already bought a car? Sharp. No matter what kind of car Yichen owns, even the cheapest car, it is much better than most people. More. After all, not to mention freshmen, even juniors and seniors, probably not many people have a car of their own. Yichen had already surpassed them in his freshman year. Yichen's answer made Fang Buoqiao stunned. He really didn't expect Yichen to have a car. Originally, he was still counting on taking the opportunity to squeeze out Yichen. I didn't expect it to fail. That's better, you can drive too. As soon as his mind changed, Fang Buoqiao smiled again on his face. Marvin has a car, so that's even better. After a while, he drove over his BMW 7 Series worth more than 1 million yuan, and Yichen also drove over. Compare the two. Yichen would definitely be ashamed of himself. Wouldn't this highlight his strength even more? When the time comes, Su School Beauty will naturally know whose car to take. Very good. After that, Fang Buoqiao left and couldn't wait to drive his car. Yichen also left. There is more than one parking lot in the school. Yichen and Fang Buoqiao's cars are not in the same parking lot, so they go in different directions. Fang Buoqiao parked his car very close to here. After a while, Fang Buoqiao drove over in his BMW 7 Series. Fang Buoqiao parked the car next to a few people and slowly lowered the window. I'll go. BMW 7 Series, Mr. Fang is so awesome. Looking at Fang Buoqiao's car, the boy waiting there was extremely surprised. Fang Buoqiao used to drive an Audi A4 worth more than 300,000 renminbi, but unexpectedly he changed cars. Master Fang, how much did you pay for this BMW 7 Series? The boy asked curiously. Not much, more than 1.2 million, not expensive. Fang Buoqiao looked indifferent. More than 1.2 million? Hearing Fang Buoqiao's words, Zhang Wan and her companions were shocked. He is only a sophomore in college, and Fang Buoqiao is already driving a luxury car worth more than 1 million yuan? That's awesome. They were all frightened by Fang Bo's terrifying financial resources. At the scene, only Su Ningxuang's expression was calm, without any change. Get in the car. Fang Buoqiao said. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fang. Thank you, Mr. Fang. Several nodded excitedly, then opened the car door and couldn't wait to get in. Of course, they wisely left the co-pilot free. Soon, Only Su Ningxuang was left outside. Su School Beauty, come up too. Seeing Su Ningxuang standing motionless, Fang Buoqiao invited. No, thank you. I'll take Yi Qin's car later. Su Ningxuang shook her head and refused without hesitation. Fang Buoqiao's expression suddenly changed when Su Ningxuang flatly refused, but he still refused to give up. Su School Beauty, what's the point of sitting in Yi Qin's car? He can't possibly drive a good car. It's definitely not as comfortable as sitting in my BMW 7 Series. Fang Buoqiao suggested. Ningxuang, Mr. Fang is right. Yi Qin's car is definitely not as good as Mr. Fang's car. A girl in the car also spoke to persuade Su Ningxuang. Seeing that Fang Buoqiao was driving a luxury car worth 1 million yuan, she naturally chose to side with Fang Buoqiao immediately. That's right, Su School Beauty, come on up. Mr. Fang has left the co-pilot to you. Another boy said the same thing, but it was a pity that Su Ningxuang still shook her head. Su School Beauty, Yi Qin can drive a car worth 1 or 200,000 at most. How can such a car be worthy of Su School Beauty? Fang Buoqiao also wanted to persuade Su Ningxuang. However, before he finished speaking, a Ferrari drove slowly over from a distance. I'm going, Ferrari. Supercar. I actually saw a supercar in school. After seeing the Ferrari in Fang Buoqiao's car, several people burst into laughter and were extremely excited. Even Fang Buoqiao was attracted by this Ferrari. So handsome and cool. This is a supercar. This is the charm of Ferrari. Fang Buoqiao was extremely envious for a moment. Even Fang Buoqiao was like this, not to mention the other people in the car. Their eyes were wide open. It would be great if I could ride in a Ferrari. I wonder who is driving the Ferrari? Several people murmured infatuatedly. Under the watchful eyes of several people, Ferrari stopped in front of Fang Bo's BMW 7 Series car. The next second, the car door opened, and a handsome boy slowly walked out. Seeing this scene, everyone was dumbfounded. What did they see? Was it Yi Qin who walked out of this Ferrari? OMG! Everyone was frightened. They never expected that Marvin's car would be a Ferrari worth millions. This is too scary. Gulu, gulu. A voice swallowing saliva came from the quiet BMW 7 Series. Several people were deeply shocked. Zhang Wan and others looked at Yi Qin's Ferrari blankly, with very complicated emotions. Especially the two people who had just spoken to Fang Buoqiao were very ashamed. So shameful. As for Fang Buoqiao, he was stunned and couldn't believe his eyes. A freshman drives a Ferrari? No kidding, right? Looking at Yi Qin's Ferrari, Fang Buoqiao's face immediately turned red when he thought of what he had just said to Su Ningxuang. Su School Beauty, what's the point of sitting in that Yi Qin's car? He can't possibly drive a good car. It's definitely not as comfortable as sitting in my BMW 7 Series. Su School Beauty, that Yi Qin can drive 1 or 20 at most. Wan's car, how can such a car be worthy of you? What he just said suddenly echoed in his mind. Shameful, so shameful. I just mocked Yi Qin for not being able to drive a good car. The car cost only 1 or 200,000 at most. It would definitely not be as good as his BMW 7 Series. But now, Yi Qin actually drove a Ferrari. One of Yi Qin's cars can buy several BMW 7 Series. At this moment, he became the laughing stock. Su Ningxuang got into Yi Qin's car. Watching Su Ningxuang get into Yi Qin's Ferrari and Fang Buoqiao's car, Zhang Wan and others were extremely envious. They also want to ride in a Ferrari. Experience what it's like to ride in a Ferrari. Fang Buoqiao was so angry that his body was shaking, and he became even more jealous of Yi Qin. No, this matter cannot be left alone. He wants to get his place back. Without saying a word, Fang Buoqiao started the car and left first. More than 20 minutes later, several people stopped in front of a luxuriously decorated top restaurant. When they arrived at their destination, Fang Buoqiao and Zhang Wan got off the car. Yi Qin also walked out of the car with Su Ningxuang. Let me introduce to you. This is the most famous restaurant in Jiangzhou, Shengranju. Pointing to the top restaurant in front of him, Fang Buoqiao introduced it very proudly. He is a gold member here and spends more than 6 figures every year. This is Shengranju. Yi Qin raised his eyebrows, but he didn't expect that the top restaurant Fang Buoqiao brought them to was Shengranju. By the way, now that I have come to have dinner with Su Ningxuang, I have completed the game mission. Thinking about it, Yichen took out his mobile phone and opened the game. With a monthly salary of 3,000, I am the richest man in the world. Game mission completed. Congratulations on obtaining 100% ownership of Shangranju and becoming the new owner of Shangranju. Congratulations on gaining experience points. 5 points. Congratulations on gaining points. 2 points. As soon as Yichen entered, a series of reminders popped up. My first game mission was successfully completed. From now on, he is the boss of Shangranju. Changranju is one of the top restaurants in Jiangzhou, worth at least tens of millions. After becoming the boss of Shangranju, plus the previous villa, Yichen's net worth suddenly exceeded 100 million. From now on, Yichen is a billionaire. A small goal, Yichen completed it in 2 days. This game is so cool. In 2 days, I went from a freshman with nothing to a veritable billionaire. The change was too rapid. A faint smile appeared on Yichen's face, which felt really good. With a monthly salary of 3,000, I will be the richest man in the world. Always be awesome. This time, not only did he get Shangranju, Yichen's experience value and points were also increased. Yichen is looking forward to the day when his player level and shopping mall level will be upgraded more and more. I guess it shouldn't be far away. Shangranju usually has an endless stream of guests, even. The rich and powerful people in Jiangzhou like to eat here. Changran Curie has top domestic chefs, and the taste is top-notch. I am a gold member here, and I have all kinds of privileges. Standing in front, Fang Buoqiao boasted that he was a gold member here. While speaking, Fang Buoqiao led a few people towards Shangranju. However, before Fang Buoqiao could walk in, the waiter took Fang Buoqiao away stopped. Hello, sir. Our restaurant is full today. I'm sorry. You can wait in line if you want. The waiter said very politely. Fang Buoqiao was immediately embarrassed. He had been showing off for a long time just now. He was a gold member here and had privileges and so on. But let alone the privileges, now he can't even enter Changran residence. Isn't this a slap in the face? Zhang Wan and others also changed their expressions. They worked so hard to get here. They originally thought they could experience what it's like to be rich, but now they can't even get in. How long do we have to wait? Zhang Wan couldn't help but ask. It will take about an hour to an hour and a half. The waiter replied. So long? We have to wait for more than an hour? Everyone was helpless. Leave it to me. Fang Buoqiao has calmed down. Fang Buoqiao confidently said to Zhang Wan and others, I am a gold member of Shangranju, so I don't have to queue. Fang Buoqiao took out his gold membership card and handed it to the waiter very politely. Sir, I'm sorry, you still need to queue up. The waiter didn't even take Fang Buoqiao's membership card and said directly, Why? Fang Buoqiao was angry. He is a gold member. He has privileges and doesn't have to queue up. I'm so sorry, sir. The few people in front of you are all gold members. The waiter explained. Fang Buoqiao was stunned. Good, very good. Fang Buoqiao felt his face burning. I know your manager Qian. You tell your manager Qian that Fang Buoqiao is here and ask him to come out. Fang Buoqiao said directly. Since he has connections, he must not queue up to get in. Today he brought several people to Shangranju. If he couldn't even get in, he would be really embarrassed. Okay, please wait a moment. A waiter walked into Shangranju and asked for manager Qian. Seeing this, Fang Buoqiao was satisfied. Don't worry, I know manager Qian here. As long as I ask, manager Qian will definitely agree. Fang Buoqiao turned around and confidently said to Zhang Wan and others. After saying that, Fang Buoqiao glanced at Yichen proudly. Now, he is going to show off his strong connections. So what if I drive a supercar? In this era, connections are the most important. Without connections, nothing can be accomplished. Thinking about it, Fang Buoqiao felt a sense of superiority in his heart. Soon, the waiter from earlier hurried back. Seeing this, Fang Buoqiao was ready to take a few people in. However, Fang Buoqiao just took a few steps and was stopped again. Mr. Fang, I'm sorry. Our manager said that we are full today and cannot let you in directly. Please be patient, the waiter said. As soon as these words came out, Fang Buoqiao was immediately stunned. Rejected and rejected again? Manager Qian didn't even come out to see him, so he just dismissed him casually? This Thinking of how confident he was just now, Fang Boqiao wanted to find a hole to crawl in. This time it was really embarrassing. After hearing the waiter's words, several other people were helpless. No solution anymore. Even Fang Boqiao used his connections to avoid going in. He could only wait or go to other places to eat. Just when a few people were about to go to other places to eat, Yichen slowly stood up.